A very good evening to our viewers. Thank you for joining us again today on the evening review. My name is Trevor Jabela. Tonight on the platform, we are joined by Mac-Donald Vihanga. He is a concerned citizen. His concerns center around the happenings at NASCAM, that is the association that deals with composers and musicians, and that also pays royalties to them from their work whenever that is due. And Mac-Donald is here to let us into his worries about the organization. Thank you, brother, for making time.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Yes.
We also appreciate this platform.
Yeah.
It allows us to, air our views and opinions without fear or favor.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just for clarification.
Yes.
Consent, not just necessarily about NASCAM. It's about our institutions, our governmental institutions that were set up for certain purposes.
Yeah.
However, these purposes are not being fulfilled, these objectives. So whenever I see news about the National Youth Council, I would get worried and I would, study what is really happening, what is the background, and I would intervene. That is my service to the country. That is because I stand for righteousness, I stand for justice, and I really want to see that I contribute to up to a certain place where I can. So when I say concerned citizen, it's not just about NASCAM.
Okay.
Today is NASCAM.
Yeah, let's start with NASCAM.
Yeah.
Well, what are your particular misgivings with NASCAM?
So it's two things. We recently had a annual general meeting. For those that don't know, I was also a director at NASCAM in the year 2022 and up to 2024 in August. That's when our term ended.
In what capacity were you serving? Do you do music? Are you in that space?
Yes.
The creative space?
Yes. I'm also a producer. I'm a rapper. Although at the moment I don't necessarily do that. But I am a member of NASCAM, of which obviously you have to be an artistic person in one way or the other. So yes, in 2022 to 2024, I served, and I learned that the Constitution has a loophole. Immediately, I learned that the Constitution, NASCAM Constitution, has a loophole. And that has been my argument, that has been my fight to kind of correct this up to this point where we are, where we recently had an AGM, where it even escalated to show, when I say the loophole, it has to do with a quorum. A quorum means basically what a certain number should be constituted in order for a meeting to take place or to proceed. And that is not clear in the Constitution, and that gives room for any interpretation, for anybody to interpret it anyhow, and that is one of the problems that I have. So before I go into the second problem, I just want to read out from the Constitution, the recently amended Constitution in February 2026, which was done by the interim board, which was elected after our term ended. By the way, this Constitution has been amended almost maybe 6 to 7 times, and still it is not 100%. And that is what I'm here to say, that we need to fix this. We need to correct this. It reads at Section 2, legal status. The society shall be a legal entity with full capacity, subject to the provisions of the Constitution of the Republic of Namibia. Already that tells me that we're talking about democracy, we're talking about fairness, we're talking about, everybody being involved. Now, how is that being served when we have a constitution that allows, or AGMs that allows members, 15 members out of 3,000 members that are not present, and only 15 members are making decisions at the highest decision-making body? That there is a challenge there, because in the first place, Section 17 of the same Constitution says that no business shall be transacted at any AGM or special AGM unless a quorum of membership is present. and it doesn't state a percentage, it doesn't state a amount of number, nothing. That is before even any meeting can go on.
Yeah.
The quorum has to be, that is not clear. And that is a loophole that can create a lot of problems. Capture of national institutions and, domination, people dominating and milking institutions and so forth. So that is, I'm not pointing fingers, but it's a problem that needs to be fixed.
It's a general concern.
Just a second one shortly has to do with how we can fix this problem. And that is my suggestion has always been to bring up tools, mechanisms that we can then enable members countrywide to participate and engage within any AGM. And that is not something that NASCAM cannot provide resources for, but it hasn't been taken serious, even in consultations. So that is my thing.
Who attends the AGM now? Is it not open to everybody?
All members of NASCAM are open to attend the AGM. However, we have NASCAM members in Caprivi, we have Oranjemund, the traveling, and sometimes even they don't even know that there's an AGM. We are depending on a Facebook page, which is very wrong. A lot of members do not even know that there is a certain Facebook page. So we can do better.
How do you ensure that a guy in Chinchimani in Zambezi participates? I'm a musician from Chinchimani. The AGM is there. How do you suggest I participate? Are you saying, because I'm sure the membership, because there's a lot of musicians in this country and composers and producers, it's thousands of people. What is the best way to do it?
First of all, I think the easiest way is to make sure that you have legit members voting, even wherever they are. So that is, everybody can afford a kamatochi. So we can then create what you call aggregating services whereby you can communicate directly to the artist, sending them SMSs. That is not been done. We are still in the old age of managing our members through archives and not digital, and that is one way we can move. It's one direction we can move, making sure that every member is aware of every happening, because this is a business, although it's a not for gain business. It has stakeholders, it has members. Now you cannot at an AGM with 15 members take a decision that involves everybody, 3,000 members, stakeholders. These are owners, and you are saying that no, let's. In fact, at the recent AGM that I spoke about, a motion was brought forth. A motion by the employees of NASCAM. These are not members. To sustain or to make this current interim board succeed or proceed with their following 3 years or at a full term, basically. And that is illegal. I mean, they are not members to even have the ability to bring, but these AGM sometimes can be, like I said, certain members are present. They were invited to create agenda. You can make up your own imagination whereby you have 15 members and one member or two members are fighting to say, no, let us have everybody participate. And that argument is being suppressed. And so that kind of situation is very dangerous, and it has to be corrected by reform or revisiting and it's not difficult. It's fixing the quorum situation and introducing the mechanisms to make sure that members are fully participating.
One of the concerns that I keep picking up from members of NASCAM is the royalty part, where people are saying, their songs have been playing on radio for a long time or whatever, but they get paid silly things like $15
Yes, correct.
after 3 years and stuff like that.
Correct.
What has been your experience?
That is true. But what causes that? What causes? You see, when NASCAM was initially initiated, it is as a result of the Copyright and Neighboring Rights Law.
Yeah.
And the picture that was painted then was to say that, guys, come, we have our own collective management organization now. You are going to get paid for every airplay. The picture painted then was wonderful, where you now had all these people flooding to NASCAM, which was the only collective management organization that was legal or approved by BIPA. And then as the years progressed, what NASCAM's mandate was, the promise was not being kept. And that is why a lot of artists have withdrawn from NASCAM to given up, because it's like they don't care anymore. They rather focus on their live shows and whatsoever. But it shouldn't be the case. And that is why I'm here to also say, guys, we need to take ownership of our own society. Let us be involved in what's happening. Let us try to be in charge. I'm just here to let you know that something is not right, but I'm not here to be the one to sacrifice my life for that. We need to all of us be involved and change it for the better. So the issue of royalties has a couple of issues that affect it, such as we only have one main distributor, which is NBC, and then we also have the accommodating challenge, which is then the administration, which mainly sucks most of these, which is almost a 2 million that comes from the NBC, which mostly is the only commercial, station that pays royalties or in the effort to pay royalties to the artist. Other radio stations, most of them are community, and they do not really contribute much. Most of them are not, they do not necessarily pay for airplay. They do not, when you bring your song to a radio station, you are told that, my brother, this is the situation, that we are not gonna remunerate you for airplay. And you sign for that, and that's that. And there's a lot of legal policies involved with all of that. So it's quite challenging.
Absolutely. Let's just continue. So still on NASCAM, there is also the issue of administration. John Marks used to be the long-serving CEO.
Correct.
Then they brought in another brother. He was
Nicanor, yes.
Yeah, I think he was fired.
Nicanor
not too long ago. So there are also issues at the top there. I don't know what the allegations were with the last
former CEO.
Whether it was again a question of. But I'm just saying that the institution need to be led properly at the top for all these things to trickle down like you want them to be.
Correct. And I feel like that's the challenge. The members themselves, the board members are the ones that are fighting. There's an infighting happening whereby a certain clique or a certain group is supposed to be in leadership. And that is wrong, because NASCAM belongs to the members, not to individuals. So with the administration of NASCAM, for me personally, ever since I intervened, I saw that we have relieved certain members who were long-serving members or workers at NASCAM, and duly processes were followed. They were found guilty. I think they were, in my period or my term, there was about 3 employees that were let go due to some of them even committed or admitted guilt. I have documentations to these accusations that I'm making. So basically, these people were fired. But as a result, we have now some of them currently serving back at NASCAM. Why? Because there's an interim board that feels that what we did was wrong as a previous board. And now they are changing things. Even this constitution is changed up from where we were charging, where we came up with an idea to say that let us find out how many active members do we have. And the previous board had business-minded people who would think ahead say that no, let's charge, for example, 350 annually, so that we can see who are the active members. Let's sift out the active members, so that then the institution can then create investments with this money and so forth. But the new board removed that. The new board brought employees that were fired back. On the issue of Nicanor, he, to my honest opinion, was one of the best CEOs that you can have for NASCAM. You could see, as soon as you enter the office, you could see the changes after we put him on that office. So he was enforcing laws, and because of that, some people, performance policies, for example. If you are not performing, I mean, we want to serve, and you need certain guys to be CEOs, but certain people take it personal. So that, as unfortunate accusations were brought, he's also, he has a whole legal thing going on in the background, but that is really defeating the purpose of NASCAM.
Are you not just defending him because you formed part of the board that brought him into the job?
Not necessarily, man. I have no benefit. I have nothing to gain from that. And the current board is also doing a good job in certain areas, but I don't respect the aspect, let's say, for example, where employees are now bringing motions to say, let's keep this board, or there was even a suggestion to keep a certain member, or to make a certain member of the board a CEO. That is wrong. We are here for an AGM. We're supposed to elect people, and now there's a motion suddenly, and they want to keep. I mean, I was running for that position for another term to come and fix some of these issues, but we were not even given the opportunity because, the House has certain members who are in the same team, and so that's a challenge with NASCAM. There's a picture and notion being painted that everything is cool. But it's not. Not everything is cool with NASCAM. Please take note. There was even a scheme to bring housing for the artists from a certain organization, of which I am in Okahandja a member. In terms of benefiting from, there's promises that were made. And I warned in the AGM, guys, let's not consider these guys. I have experience with these people. But people voted through the simple majority section. All votes shall be decided by simple majority. At the end of the day, I didn't have a say. But simple majority from where, since we didn't even have a quorum? I mean, what are we talking about? There is just a gap.
I understand. Now, let's shift to something else. We're not going to talk about NYC. I've had a lot of NYC conversations not too long ago, and I think we have exhausted the subject, but I appreciate your concern about what is happening there. I want to bring you back to your town. You ran for councillor as an independent candidate, was it last year? You didn't manage. Well, what were the loopholes? What happened?
So when I didn't make it, it was a fair fight, but I was also very impressed with the numbers that I got, the support that I had, people behind me. I feel like a lot of people are not informed. A lot of people just make decisions based on loyalty, or I don't know what exactly, because currently people are still running back to me to say that, please come help us to spearhead this sewage water story. I'm like, guys, you didn't vote for me. I would have been there to solve those problems. So there's a loophole in that aspect of education and information, of which I've decided, in fact, I'm not going to be participating in any elections further from here, henceforth, because I feel that people need to be, if anything, I want to be informing, I want to be educating. I've approached agencies that do funding in those regards, and I'm hoping that something comes up so that I can really go out to individuals at the most, at the grassroots level, and tell them how things work, how political systems are designed, and things that the ECN is not necessarily doing, because I feel that they also have an agenda. And these are all things that are in the open. I have emails whereby I approach the ECN to allow my organization to be one of the agencies that gives education but that I never got any response. It's crazy. It makes you wonder, like, these perfect laws that are there. ECN is supposed to conduct work with organizations in order to provide education, civil education, but they don't do it. Then it makes you wonder, so beautiful laws, but what's happening?
Yeah. So you are saying that the residents of Okahandja have made their bed and they must lie in it.
Yeah, definitely. I feel unfortunate because I'm a part of that bed. It's so unfortunate, man. My wife cries every time when we get home. This stench. I want to get the Minister of Health to come and just stay and spend a few minutes at that river because we live close to a river.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
It's horrible. Tell me about your town has a lot of problems. I see a lot of activists from Okahandja. I had another interview of somebody from Okahandja this week. This person was assaulted by some bosses there for the company that he works for and whatnot. But that is not even the main thing for me. You had that dark episode early last year when those young girls were abducted and sexually assaulted and killed.
Yeah. And recently, even boys are raping. It's the Okahandja town. They call it now a devil's playground.
Yeah.
I think as a resident who was born and raised there, I feel what's happened is there's an influx of people that came from. There's no regulation.
Yeah.
People come anyhow, put a ghetto, put a shack there, and then you have now a neighbor that you don't even know whether they have a criminal record, what they are doing in that shack at night. You have no idea. So from the regulatory side, the constituency office is supposed to have committees within the suburb or the community whereby they are the ones that are the middlemen between the incomers and the council. So that is a real evil, and I think young people can get involved. Serious young men can stand up and work alongside legal or law enforcement.
Yeah.
And I'm one of those people that is open to that. My organization has been working with the police at roadblocks, safety issues. We do patrols at night and so on. So the Okahandja issue is an issue of we have no parks, we have no playgrounds, there's no recreation, there is nothing happening in terms
Has it always been like that? Because I'm one of the issues that I observe with grave concern is the general decline of our towns. Okahandja used to be called the garden town. Now you are saying it doesn't have parks. Has it always not had parks, or it had parks and then things just deteriorated along the way?
Okahandja, unfortunately, so it had one recreational facility of which I maybe went to once. It was a swimming pool. It was a great idea, but our own people damaged and writing on the walls and that ended that. It ended that institution. But that was it. Why not continue to put up more things like that? I have put proposals in to have parks looked after by you hire somebody to look after these parks. You make sure that young people have a option to say, I'm going to the Shabin or I'm going to read a book. But there is currently nothing like that. So Okahandja is being under the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. Everybody knows that, but it can change. It begins with the homes, the families, the households. I think our households have moved away from prayer. We are doing things wrong. We are drinking alcohol in front of the children. We are sending up the wrong examples. We are chuffing in front of the kids, and we are preaching a wrong gospel and then doing something else. So that is where I think is where the problem is. I am a father myself, and I am challenged as well. And a simple example, I'm always scrolling on my phone, and then my child will be there watching me. And how can I be angry if they are now also scrolling on the phone, you know? when I should be doing something constructive if my scrolling on the phone is not, you know. Yeah, so I think...
Absolutely. Your final words, my brother, just especially the future of that very important town.
Yeah, for me, I think it's let's work together.
Yeah.
A lot of times we have this notion of competition. We have a competition that is unseen. We always want to look better. We want to be perceived as, you know, successful, achieved. When opportunities arise, we only want to make sure that our family members are the ones getting it, our friends are the ones getting it. So if we take away that evil mindset, as a human breed, we can then thrive, because we would then be concerned about because we are all children of God.
Yes.
That is the thing that we need to remember. We are children of God. So when you are rejecting me, you are rejecting your brother.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. My brother, it's a pleasure always talking to you.
Same here.
We hope to have you back on the platform again soon, but thanks for coming, man.
Yeah, no, it's a pleasure. I really appreciate it. And this is also doing something for me personally, you know, talking out, speaking out. It's working for my good as well.
Absolutely.
I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, wonderful. That is Mac-Donald Vihanga speaking about the issues that concern him as a Namibian, and we were happy to speak to him about those things. Thank you for watching.